We are, we are, we are, we are, we are, we are Duel Legion.
Hey guys, it's LegendThatSicBoy, welcoming you to the Duel Legion Network and welcoming you to Cards of Note. Now, for those just joining or not really knowing what I do with the Cards of Note videos, because the deck profile videos are pretty self-explanatory, in Cards of Notes I usually just take cards and other strategies that I didn't incorporate in the main deck in my build, and I throw them in the Cards of Note. So if it's like a strategy I was battling back and forth with, whether I wanted to make it like this or whether I wanted to make it like that, you'll see that card or those engines inside the Cards of Note. Also, any cards that I pretty much left off the list because of price or just no accessibility, also in the Cards of Note as well. Different strategies outside of like particular engines or like one of cards that definitely I would recommend in there, also part of Cards of Note. Just a different way of looking at the deck I just displayed. So that's usually how I would run it. Now here's a bunch of things that other people that duel differently outside of like speed and control would want to run it. So pretty much what we do here in Cards of Note. So again, this is part 2 of the 2-parter video for the agents. Also, again, just making sure I stress that I didn't want to kill you guys with about an hour worth of material and just detail. Even though it's very helpful, I didn't want to just, have you just go to sleep on me. So definitely with that. So call me considerate, I guess. But hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys take something away from it. As always, guys, like and subscribe. And comment below if you guys like the content. If you guys think I could do a little bit better with some of the insights and stuff like that, comment. If you guys got a different deck you might want me to try out and do, comment. Pretty much anything. Just positive vibes, guys. That's all I gotta say in the comments, alright? So, hope you guys enjoy the video.
We are Duel Legion.
We don't talk about the hell.
Yes, so starting off my Cards of Note with the side deck that I run primarily, there's still 2 cards I'm like playing with in there, but it's a solid 15. So for my side deck that I run, it's going to be 3 dimensionals, just because Branded Fusion is real, and they're abusing him right now. So 3 dimensionals, I feel self-explanatory. The only really thing you can't control is the link summonings, but most of the time right now in the meta, it's link summoning to get out your bigger synchros, fusions, or exceed monsters. So, or your bigger link monster. So if you have something like to negate those things, you can really not just worry about the other stuff going on the board. So 3 dimensionals is preferable in your side, just in case that you want to hit it as many times as they try to play it. Also run the 1 red reboot. This one I put into the side deck because, as we know, I love red reboot. So just when they're going like, back row heavy on me or just like trap heavy, I have something I could just throw in. And I'm thinking about throwing in it, like Divine Punishment and red reboot go hand in hand for me. So depending on who I'm playing and what's a little faster option, I'll switch it out. Running 1 Duster and 1 Regeki. Again, to really control the back row and front row. And these are great options to take out for your Dark Ruler no more. So if they're not really running monsters that have its own protection, and they're doing like stuff like in the back row, like with Skill Drain, or like if they're doing Fall Sanctuary, or if they're doing like Eternal Soul, you can carry it with that. And if their monsters are on the field and they have no real protection on them, you can just hit them out with Regeki. Pretty simple as that. I am thinking about putting Stumbling in, but that's a little bit heavier engine. But I could just put that into the side deck like I have here. So my 2 testing cards in my side deck is the 1 Trickstar and the 1 Chaos Dragon. Just because you do play lights and darks, a few less darks than lights, but you can still get them out. And she's a great bounce back and a run around for Corbane and Light Stage's effect, so you can search her out with Light Stage. You summon Lilybell, then you bounce out Corbane's hand effect to power Lilybell up by 2,000, and then she is necessarily just a beater. So you could just like beat out and then return your Corbane to your hand. So it's a really smooth combo. That's why I'm pretty much testing it out. I haven't had a chance to like throw it in and see how it is, but it's there to like remind me in a different color plastic. Say, hey, use this card, see what it does. Make sure. But that's that. Those two right there. I'm really testing out. Continuing with the side deck, it's gonna be my Extra Majesty, just in case I do want to abuse him. My third Bell, my third Herald, my third Effect Veiler, and my 2 Nibiru's, rounding out my 15 side. I say it's pretty much self-explanatory to prevent me from getting like floodgated and my opponent from swarming me, to continue on stuff that does work. So if something's not really working, I could switch it out, swap it out to increase it. And yeah, pretty much to cover my weaknesses for the deck. It's also a big weakness when like you're doing your removal effects and you don't have the fairies in the graveyard to do so. So do have to watch out about that. Anyway, that's the side deck. So it's my 15 based on what I usually face in my area. Continuing with the cards of note, some things you might want to put into your side deck or just work around in your extra deck. Remember, I'm not running Herald or Baron, so I'm not really running the Bhutan engine like they're doing it with Herald. So don't really expect that to see that right now. But what I am doing is like for budget builds, if you really can't afford certain cards, even some of the cards I have, you can swap them out with these cards and they'll get you kind of like the same effect or like the same speed or the same power aspect. So we're doing the whatever. I'm not even going to hurt myself with that. And the Valhalla, just to speed up to getting your Valhalla. I know a lot of people have been like, oh, you got to run Valhalla. You got to run Valhalla. For me, at least, yes, Valhalla can be searched to your hand faster, but it's a hard once per turn. So, and you have to have no monsters to do so. Those two effects pretty much got snuffed out for me, at least, by Celestial Transformation and Corbane and Light Stage and their unity. So Corbane will take the place of Valhalla and Light Stage will take the place of this one because these search for this. So Light Stage would search for Corbane and the way this will Corbane, and then instead of activating this, Corbane just special summons itself with the same kind of effect restrictions as Valhalla. And then with Celestial, you can just, they're quick effects. So you can tag it and they're not hard once per turns. So I can activate 2 Celestials at the same time if I have them in my hand. So that's why I pretty much don't run them. Let me know why you do run them or why you don't run them in the comments. Like I said, I'm not a supreme lord on this joint. Just giving you different ways to look at cards and different ways to view cards or different ways to incorporate cards into your strategy. For me, at least, a little slow with the hard ones per turn. Moving forward, I'm gonna mention that in the end. So yeah, we'll mention that in the end. Cards that you can just top out with that are really good right now, but yeah. So we're doing 2 of my Herald of Heavens. You could do 1, primarily 1, but if I feel I was going to run it I want to see the consistency to make Sanctuary more available to me, so I would run it 2. And plus, the other one can be normal summon while Sanctuary is on the field, and it'll just give you a 4-star 21 beater, which is not bad. So can't complain too much on that. Continuing with the cards, you can use Griffin Rider. Griffin Rider works great in here. It's not a bad card. You can put the Adventure Token package in as well, just to give it more support and more like fluidity, and with its negations as well. You can do that. You can't do that. It's up to you. Me, I left it out of everything because I would want to run it with the Adventure package, but I'm already running it at 50, so I have to chop a lot of cards. It's a whole big thing. Maybe in a later video, I'll do like a Agent Adventure deck, which would be pretty cool. But then I would have to I would run that with Heralds though. Not saying Herald's not a great card. Herald's an amazing card. It's just expensive right now.
We don't talk about the Herald.
So I wasn't going to get it. I wish it wasn't expensive because I would love to use it, but pretty expensive card right now. Continue with cards of note. Running 2 punishments is a great way of as adding to your effect like negations, especially if you don't have impermanences. So you can run 2 punishments instead of 2 permanences and rock your Fallen Sanctuary and still be kind of good. Especially if you're doing like the whole counter trap fairy, which I most likely probably do another video, not another video, but a video on that counter trap fairy deck too as well. DD Sprite's really, really good just to put another board on the field, and especially since it's a 1-star tuner, so you can go into other plays with it. Being a 1-star tuner, like your formula off bat, or like you can even pump out a Master Flare if you have the right number of cards with a Neptune. Going forward, Solemn Judgment's always a good card. Again, if you don't have some of like the impermanences or stuff like that, you can suffice with like these 3 cards, like a 2 punishments, Fallen Sanctuary, and Solemn Judgment, and you would be okay in like recreational duels. You won't be like star-studded in tournament duels, but you'll be okay in a recreational duel. And to top out the last of the last in monsters for the regular stuff, it's gonna be 1 Guardian of the Order. He's basically like a Wind Witch. If you have 2 or more lights on the field, you can special summon it from your hand. Just a great add-on and extender. A lot of people haven't mentioned him and said anything about, but he's also a level 8. So, hello, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's a level 8 that special summons himself. Pretty easy to the field. So you can just put a tuner with him on and there you go, Master Flare. So definitely a Guardian of Order. And then for my little tech aspect, like something I was really looking at, if you really want to go hard, you can like test out the Time Lords with the Time Maidens out with the deck. Get you a 1-for-1 and just start wilding with them. You could really do that as well too. So that's it for like the old school but kind of new school rendition. The only new school card would be like, you know, Griffin Rider. So moving forward to the Chalice part of the cards of note. For Chalice, we're doing 1 Unexpected Die, 1 Transmodify, 2 Lees, 1 Guard Dragon, sorry about the shake, 1 World Legacy World Crown, and 1 Galaxy Serpent, which is like outside of the second World Chalice World Crown, that's pretty much the engine. And then for the extra deck, you're going to do preferably the other one. I can't find the other one I have, but just these 2 are the main ones, and then you can switch out or just add all 4. You know what I'm saying? You could do that as well too, but for me, I would just have it at 3 just for space purposes, and it's just a real tricky, it's just like a quick trick to do, you know what I'm saying, like to give you an advantage on the board. So you can do that, and it's the workaround too. This works better though with Herald, Divine Herald. So definitely remember that when running this, like I test played it a few times, like it works good, but it does get a little bricky where that extension of a Herald, Divine Herald's effect would work great with it. You know what I'm saying? So definitely pay attention to that. You can find other ways to optimize it by going more Chalice than Agent, but then you're like, that's your choice. You know, but you can do that. And I believe, oh wait, hold up. Last but not least, for the cards of note, let's move these up. Actually, let's just get these out of the way. That's pretty much the Chalice engine. The engine number 5. Let me stop singing before I get copyrighted. We're doing 1 Trish. We're doing 1 Unicorn. And 1 Leo. Right? Again, budget thinking. If you can't get the Sovereign, if you can't get I believe the other card, which is not other, I think it's like a $7-8 card, get you a Leo. Leo is a level 10. He's 100 above the 3,000 mark, so he can run over 3,000 here. And he has a somewhat decent effect. A somewhat, like, you know, he can't be targeted until the main phase 2. So cool. Like, and if you get effects that skip your main phase 2, even better. You know what I'm saying? Or just effects that just end your turn, even better. But that has been cards of note.
Me like, fuck these bitches. What? We don't talk about the Herald.